Hey everyone. So this year, since I'm growing so many different varieties of peppers out there, I decided I'm going to do a little mini series on the ones that I'm actually growing, and I'll tell you as much as I can about the plant itself. And um, I got a lot of inspiration from this one from a bunch of different YouTubers out there. So this is not going to be anything new or special. It's just going to be something a little more familiar to all of you since you all know me. That being said, let's get started. I figured the best place to start would be with the first non-ornamental to actually ripen. I've got a couple of the ornamentals out front that have started to turn red, but they're kind of gross. They're really seedy and bitter. So I'm going to start with one that's actually usable in food and somewhat interesting, as it were. I was looking forward to growing this one because I didn't taste it before I took the seeds from it, but I read about it, and I highly suggest you go look at the Wikipedia for this. This is the Peter pepper. Um, it was awarded the most pornographic pepper by Organic Gardening magazine because it's somewhat phallic in shape if you get the right one to grow. These didn't turn out great, but they are. I mean, sort of this one, but you need to see a doctor if it looks like that. But anywho, they're. I think the only thing I can come up with is these look like they're a shishito, but reading on it, they're apparently an heirloom, which means they are their own breed. I could be wrong about this. They look like shishitos that are a little bit gnarly and perhaps grown specifically because they have that funky look to them, but they're annuums. So I think that's how that's pronounced. That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. So if it's wrong, feel free to correct me. Capsicum annuums, which lends itself toward the milder varieties. It's where your bell peppers, your jalapenos, all those fall in. This falls into that. This is going to be much hotter than a bell. This is actually hotter than a jalapeno significantly, but from what I understand, these are not super hot. Like they're not even cayenne heat. They're less than that. So if you've ever used cayenne powder, that's not a really good example because powder is not really all that potent, but apparently, it's somewhere between it's jalapeno to cayenne, somewhere in the middle there. I don't know. Looking forward to trying it. I've actually been waiting for one of these to ripen for a long time. This came from the plant that I have in hydroponics, so we're going to go take a look at that now. This is the Peter pepper plant. Its leaves are sagging really bad right now, but that's because it's recovering from some sort of root shock. I don't know what specifically caused it, but if you'll see down here, these are some of the roots that came off it, and it looks like it's had some rot. This was just yesterday that I pulled those off, so they didn't turn that color brown. They were that color brown beforehand. It wasn't able to even hold up its leaves, but now it's doing a whole heck of a lot better, and it looks like we got another ripe one in there. I just noticed. Well, getting close to it, but anywho, the plant is looking good. It's far in front of this other one over here as far as growth. This one just recently started to blossom. I don't even think a single pod has formed on it yet, but that's just the nature of hydroponics. It doesn't have to dig the roots down through dirt, so it just sort of goes unimpeded, and it grows faster that way. So no surprise. Either way, let's go try it. Alrighty, so now that we've taken a look at the plant and the other one that I have in dirt, let's find out what these taste like. Now, I don't really want to try this one first because I think waiting for one to ripen is where you get all the flavor and probably some of the heat. Because this one ripened first and because this one bloomed first, I know 100% certain that this would not have crossed with anything. So I'm not going to exactly eat the whole thing. I want to actually save the seeds from this one because it ripened really well on the vine. So I'm just going to take about half. And by the way, for any of you thinking that I'm going to eat every single super hot that I'm growing out there, you're crazy. I'm going to take a little bit of each of them, but I'm not putting myself through that much pain. I don't love y'all that much because you don't love me that much. That's what it comes down to. Anywho, here's nothing. That's really yummy. I like that. That's really sweet. I was expecting it to be hotter than this. I'm sure if I go down toward this end, it'll be much hotter because that's where all the membrane is, but no, that's about where a jalapeno lies for me on the heat scale. This is one that I can definitely snack on. Like it's not bad enough that I would say this is one of those ones that you would have to cook with. You could actually just snack on this. That is wonderful. I am super pleasantly surprised at how well or how good that tastes. Jeez. See, now I don't want to try the green one because the green one could suck. But better than letting it go to waste. I'm not going to cook with one. Yeah. This one has that green pepper taste. It's nothing special. Decent smell. They both smell very fresh because they are pretty recently picked. This one I actually picked yesterday. No, I'm sorry. I picked this morning. So it hadn't been off the vine very long. The difference between the two is night and day. This one tastes very green. It tastes kind of bland and boring, but this one tastes very sweet. It's not fruity or anything like that. It's sort of got a bell pepper taste. It's not a jalapeno. There's very different flavor from a jalapeno. If you've ever tried a Tabasco pepper by itself, it's very similar to that taste, but a little bit sweeter. And my God, it doesn't pack nearly the punch. But yeah, I really like this. I'm looking forward. I see. I'm definitely going to be growing more, and I keep smelling it because it does smell very good too. I'm looking forward to growing more of these in the future. Okay, if you ever get a chance to grow Peter peppers and you see them in your local nursery and you're wondering if you should, you should. It's not going to be the kind of heat that's going to blow your brains out. You're not going to say I'm not, well, maybe a little bit, but I was just outside. I'm not really sweating, and normally when I bite into something super hot, it takes just a couple of minutes for me to start sweating. Fully endorse this one. Grow it if you get a chance. And I look forward to growing more in the future. And I don't know, I may make a hot sauce or a mild sauce, if it were, out of these. Anywho, be back a little bit later with some, oh God, I'm afraid to see the ones that I've got going out there. I've already got scorpions that are about to turn red. I'm really not looking forward to this. Y'all are lucky I'm a nice guy.